Good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So, as you just saw, it is raining again. I cross over into Oregon today, across the Astoria Bridge, and I'm excited, a little fearful. It's a big, long bridge and looks scary, but I am excited. Since it was raining, I actually stayed here at the Dismal Nitch a little bit longer than what I had planned on. I wanted to get up at like 5 this morning and then go, but at 5 it was pouring rain, and I couldn't see, packing everything up wet again, and then going across that bridge in the cold. But it gave me time to process some things, and so I guess the word for today is endurance. It seems like all day yesterday was about struggle. That it was a lot of miles. I pushed close to 50 miles. It was no one to talk to, highway riding. But the end of that struggle came that meeting with Jasmine at the grocery store. And Jasmine wrote a beautiful post about our encounter and put it on Facebook and tagged me in it. And, she talked about struggle. And so then I get here to the Dismal Nitch. Now, the Dismal Nitch, this is a little piece of land with a rest area 1 mile before the Astoria Bridge on State Road 401. And it's where Lewis and Clark, when they set out from the East Coast to find a water route to the West Coast, this is like they're 10 miles from the Pacific Ocean, and they get here and they are just embattled by what they call the worst storm that they'd ever seen. And in Lewis's journal, he writes that, about this dismal niche, that they were forced backwards into a cove twice because of the weather. 2 different times they had to retreat. That was one of the very few times in their entire expedition that they moved backwards from their goal. And so it just got me thinking, how many times have I experienced that in my life? I'm almost at a breakthrough. I'm 10 miles from the Pacific Ocean. There's so many things that I've just got right at the cusp of, and then retreated. And so I'm really thinking a lot today about endurance. Just like enduring that ride yesterday led to that encounter with Jasmine, just like Lewis and Clark's expedition got this close, and then led to the Pacific Ocean. It's amazing to me what endurance, when added with your faith, can do. So that's my thought for the day as I'm riding. I am super, super pumped up. Not only that I'm going to be entering the second state on this journey, Oregon, but really just the encounter yesterday has my heart lifted up. And I'm just excited. I'm really excited about today. So with that, I'm going to take all this stuff down and go ahead and make my way across that bridge, which you'll see right about now. All right, so I am not kidding you. I just packed up camp, talked with a guy named Mark and his wife, who are from Eugene, Oregon. And I just pointed out across this bay. Hadn't been able to see Astoria all morning. They asked me how I was getting across. I said the bridge. So I said, I just hope that, by the time that I get over to the bridge, that if I can see as far as I can, that I'll be able to see farther. As I started pedaling, the fog just moved over off the bridge east of the bay. Unbelievable. I mean, I believe it because I just watched it happen, but you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, thanks, Mark. Good meeting you guys. And now, here goes nothing.
was an experience you don't get every day. Wasn't much of a bike lane at all. The little white line on the bridge that separates, you know, the dead zone and the traffic was about a ½ an inch high from just years of being repainted and laid down. And so anytime that I would touch it, it would just suck my bike over the line out into traffic. It only happened 3 times and all of them were on the way down. But it was definitely an interesting experience. That bridge is so high up there. Like, I know that scale just doesn't compute. Look, if you've cycled over the Astoria Bridge before, leave a 100 in the comments below. Man, kudos to you if you've done it. If you drove a car over the Astoria Bridge and you know how steep it is, say something in the comments. That was the steepest bridge I've been on, I think. I've been on the Skyway Bridge in Tampa, and I'm sure that that's steeper and taller, but it's interstate, you know, and I haven't done it on a bicycle. But that was definitely different. I'll have you know that from the time that I got onto the bridge all the way until I got off the bridge to where I'm standing at right now, I did not get off the bicycle one single time. I kept wanting to, and I was just like, it was a fight or flight, you know, way out, whether stopping with log trucks slamming by and taking a break, or whether just go ahead and push it out and get it done. And I'm glad I pushed it out and got it done. Anyway, just had to say something. Now I've got to go get some food. That crushed me. But it was super exciting. Wouldn't trade that experience for the world. Glad I got to do it. And now I'm standing on the ground that is Oregon. State number 2. We made it. Still got a long way to go, but we got the first one out of the way. I loved every minute of Washington. For all of you that I met in Washington, I loved your state. It was beautiful. I'll have those memories for the rest of my life, and I'll have the memories of each of you as well. So now time to make some in Oregon. Love you guys. See you later. Well, it is raining again. I'm here at the Lighthouse Park in Warrenton, and I came across this praying hands thing. Decided I'd stop and use this opportunity to take a break and pray. So I'm coming up on a shipwreck called the wreck of the Peter Iredale, and it looks pretty cool. It looks like one of the, you know, major things on the Oregon coast to check out. So I'm going a few miles out of the way to get to it, but it'll be worth it. It is actually where I'm going to physically put my tire in the water of the Pacific Ocean and start the official cross-country portion of the Transamerica Trail, which will end in Yorktown, Virginia at the Atlantic Ocean. And then I've been to the northwest point. When I went around Port Angeles, I was actually on my way up to Cape Flattery. And Cape Flattery is actually on an Indian reservation, and the Indian reservations up here are remaining closed because of COVID. So you're not actually able to access the walkway that goes to Cape Flattery. So instead, I just kind of started my farthest northwest point at Ruby Beach there. And then final, you know, Thanksgiving 5 months from now, we're looking at Key West as the farthest southeast point. So I'm going to have physically gone as far as I could northwest to southeast on the continental United States of America, Lord willing. No idea whether I'm actually going to make it or not, but so far it's looking pretty good. Anyway, again, thanks for your prayers, thanks for your support, thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing on YouTube. Also, check the description box. There's a link to donate to Redeeming Eden through International Gospel Outreach. So, with that being said, I am going to pedal to this wreck and see what it looks like. Again, kind of focusing on endurance today. So, I guess I have to endure a little more rain. Alright, love you guys. See you later. Alright, so that's the end of this day. The Astoria Bridge really took a lot out of my thighs. I wasn't quite prepared for a no-stop ride up that thing. Then I pedaled over here to Fort Stevens Park and got to see that wreck of the Peter Iredale. And it was awesome. Just a big old steel ship down in the sand. And that was hard too. I really had to lug the bike down through soft sand, a big dune, to get it down there, and then had to lug it back up. But it was worth it for the memory that my wheel has touched the Pacific Ocean. And I'll do the same thing in Virginia when I get there. And the same thing in Key West. There wasn't anywhere to really do that up in the northwest corner, so even Ruby Beach, there was no way I was going to walk the bike down that cliff. Either way, I am done for today. I'm tired. I am all worn out. I have a bunch of berries here that I get to eat from all around the tent for the evening. And then tomorrow I'm going to make it as far south down the Oregon coast as I can. So definitely be looking forward to those videos, because from what I understand, it is beautiful down the Oregon coast in this area of the world. I'm going to make my way down to Florence. It's 200 miles, somewhere around there. And so at the point that I get to Florence, I'm going to start cutting east across the United States. So with that, I am going to start cutting and editing these videos for you to be able to see as soon as possible. Don't have much connectivity out here, but it looked like there was a lot down the coast when I was down that way. I had to come north a little bit to get to Fort Stevens, but either way, be looking out for it when it posts. And until then, I love you guys, and I'll see you later.